What's up everybody, and welcome to the top 5 power armors for consoles. Of course, at this point in time, for consoles only means for Xbox One, but hopefully we'll see that changed in the future. Basically, I wanted to give you console players a little bit of love by making some exclusive videos for you. I do also want to mention that you'll see me being a little bit critical of the power armors in this video. First and foremost, taking into consideration that if it's in this video, it's very good. There are a lot of good power armors not even in this video, so I do appreciate everything the mod authors have done, but I do plan on reviewing all of these armors. Of course, that's only my opinion though, so I encourage you guys to comment down below your own order of these armors, or maybe some not featured in this video. And last but not least, I normally don't ask this, but I was wondering if you guys could subscribe if you're not subscribed already. We're almost at 40,000 subscribers, and that'd be a really cool goal to hit before the end of July. But with all that being said, let's get right into it. So up first, we do have the Storyteller armor. So this is from the really popular YouTube series, The Storyteller by the Shoddycast. This armor was created for that series and subsequently released to the masses on Nexus and Bethesda.net. It does have a few features that make it stand out from some of the other power armor mods out there. Actually, 2 of the paint jobs add in new little devices on the armor. So here's the Desert Recon. It does have that little camera on the side there, and as you can see, it has that desert camo. Basically, this also has a special ability. So when all pieces are painted with the Desert Recon paint or material, fusion cores will no longer be used when walking in the sunlight. So basically, if it's a sunny day out, no rain, not nighttime, and you're walking around, fusion cores won't be used. You'll just be running off of solar power. In the later parts of the game, when you're kind of stacked up on fusion cores, obviously this is kind of negligible, but in the early game, when you only have a few to your name, this is very strong and definitely gives you a good reason to invest in getting this power armor. The other paint job with some changes is the White Death paint job or material mod. As you can see, it instantly gives you that shroud over your head and kind of gives you a little optical lens on your actual visor there. I think the shroud looks absolutely phenomenal, and I really hope more power armors will start doing this, like having some kind of clothing, whether it be a shroud, a cape, even a t-shirt, I don't know, on top of your power armor. I think it looks really nice. The White Death version is much more sniper focused, so you're going to highlight targets while this is on, kind of like the recon ability that a lot of power armors have, as well as when you're zooming in with the scope, you won't have to hold your breath. I really do like the theme the White Death version goes with, having that sniper styled setup, and basically all of the perks and features you get from it do really fit that, as long as the aesthetics do look like something a sniper would have. Unfortunately, I don't think that applies at all to the Desert Recon. The random camera on his side almost feels like it would be more applicable to the White Death version. The Desert Recon, I would like to see like a solar panel on his back or something. I think that would be kind of cool, but unfortunately we don't have that. So why is this power armor in the 5th spot? Well, basically I just personally don't like it that much, and I think a lot of people will disagree with me. This is a taste thing more than anything else, but I just find this to be a little bit boring when compared to some other power armors. It looks very similar to some of the default ones, and I just don't think it's that spicy or interesting as compared to some of the other power armor mods that are out there. So in the 2nd spot, we do have Tumajamba's Spartan battlesuit. What this adds in is a very tanky and heavy looking battlesuit to the game. This power armor goes with the theme that it is basically from pre-war era and very primitive, but made to be very tanky. It doesn't actually have a helmet, you put on a visor instead. This armor does have the stats to back up its claims though. It is definitely the strongest power armor out of all the ones I'll be checking out today, having the most health and the most resistances, although it is tanky and you walk pretty slow in it. What I really like about this armor is that it set out with a theme and then followed that theme in basically every aspect of that armor. I also really like the addition of that little visor. I think it's a nice touch to just switch things up a little bit and make them a little bit more unique. My main gripe with this armor as of right now is the textures look very crappy. When you get a close-up of them, you could tell that they are just pretty low quality comparatively to some of the other armors, especially the weld marks. They just don't look all that good at all. If that was updated and upgraded a little bit and maybe a few extra paint jobs were added, I think this armor would really become one of the best armors out there yet again, but for the time being, I'd love to see those minor changes. In the 3rd spot, we do have the Enclave X-02 power armor. This is actually one of the oldest power armor mods out for Fallout 4, coming out right around when the game was released. So what does this power armor do right? Well, first and foremost, I think the texture of it is absolutely phenomenal. I think it's one of the best textures out of all the power armor mods out there today and looks very sharp. There's also a Tesla version of this power armor, although I don't show it because it was having all kinds of freezes and then unfreezes and a lot of glitches there. so I don't really deem that as super usable considering I was having a lot of issues and I definitely have a higher end PC. This is probably the simplest of the power armors on this list. I just think it looks really nice and has a good model, but that's why it's probably in the middle ground. There's no real issues here, it's just not as creative as some of the other ones and doesn't stand out as much as the two above this one. That being said, it's still a really good power armor and I definitely really love having the Enclave back in the Commonwealth. So now real quick before we get to the last two, I do want to kind of have an honorable mention almost. The unique power armor frames mod is very cool. It adds in a bunch of different power armor frames that are quite a bit different from the vanilla ones. I think these frames go a lot better with the armors I'm showing today, so I definitely recommend checking these out and using them in addition to all these custom armors. So in the fourth spot, we do have the construction power armor. So I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to be surprised I placed this one so high, but I actually really like this power armor and I think you will too. The main reason I fell in love with it is because it's so unique. It doesn't look like any of the other power armors on this list, especially when you actually walk around with it, you'll totally know what I'm talking about. The build of this power armor is different. All the other armors on this list kind of use the same human-like shape for all the pieces. This one doesn't do that. It has square and oddly shaped blocks as pieces, and for that reason it does stand out a lot more than all the other ones on here. And there's definitely a lot of detail that went into the modeling of this power armor. You can see a lot of gears and kind of just different wires and stuff hanging out about the armor. The closer you look at it, the more you'll kind of notice and kind of be intrigued by it. Looking at the pictures of this power armor definitely didn't do it justice. I ranked it a lot lower originally, but then once seeing it and playing with it in game, I did give it the fourth spot, so obviously pretty good in my book at least. It does fall short in the texture category though. I think they look a little bit kind of old and just not that high quality. If that was overhauled, this very realistically could have won this whole list, but alas, until then, it'll be number 4. So in the fifth and final spot, or the top power armor, is the Submersible power armor. This is actually the newest of all the power armors, so maybe this mod author learned from some of the other ones. I also do want to give a big shout out to UNOCTUM. 3 of these power armors he either authored or co-authored, so obviously this guy knows what he's doing. He's playing a big part in the Fallout 4 modding scene, and based on the quality of mods he's giving us, I think we all owe him a big thanks. So what makes me like this power armor so much? First and foremost, it's actually how you get it, which this may sound kind of stupid, but basically the way you get this power armor is by going to the wreck of the FMS Northern Star, and there's actually another one now in the Hant Oceanological Society. Whatever, that beside the point, you get a Bioshock inspired power armor by going to all these ocean settings. This is a huge step above a lot of the other power armors, where they're just scattered in random places around the map, or just have little quests locking them before you could get them. The Submersible power armor has that little extra bit of lore almost going for it. Even though it's super minor, it was just a really nice touch that I really enjoyed. The texture and the model of this thing are super solid, but I think everybody on this list had pretty good models. The textures were not so great on some of them, but the Submersible power armor definitely has no flaws there. Okay, the headlamp on this thing is absolutely crazy. It is a ton of fun to use, especially in combat. It basically will have illumination from all 3 sides, which looks really good in action. It does have a few different material mods, although I don't really think that's a strong suit or a weak suit for this power armor. There's enough variety to keep everyone happy, but nothing that really stands out. Although this mod does have 2 different helmets, one being the normal helmet that comes with the mod, and another one being the Alpha helmet. Basically, the Alpha helmet is more Bioshock inspired than the original helmet. That's a really nice touch, and both of the helmets look really good. And last but not least, the thing that really propels this into the first spot is that drill. So the most recent update added a drill weapon to the power armor, and as you can see, it does almost look like it's attached to the power armor. It actually is just a totally normal weapon, but the way it's modeled is it's supposed to be used with the power armor. I think it looks absolutely fantastic, and I hope a lot of other mod authors take inspiration from this. Having what seems like augmented weapons on your power armor is a really cool hypothetical, and I really hope we get more of those going forward. But that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I do hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you all next time. Bye!